Hello everyone. The government in Syria has crashed. Bashar al-Assad, the dictator of Syria, has fled to Russia. A coup d'etat has demolished the entire Syrian government. Till 26 November, a major part of Syria was ruled by the original Syrian government. However, another large chunk of Syria was ruled by an extremist organization that is called HTS, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. But now, HTS has taken majority control of the country, overpowering the Syrian government itself. HTS was earlier a part of Al Qaeda, that is, an extremist organization in the Middle East. However, in 2016, it broke apart from Al Qaeda to form a separate group. Later, in 2017, it merged with other smaller extremist organizations and became HTS, what we know currently. So, what is the Syrian crisis about? And how did the map change in the wink of an eye? Let us know about this in today's video. Let us start with Syria's geography first. Syria is located on the eastern end of Mediterranean Sea and it is bordered by Turkey to the north, Israel and Lebanon to the west, Iraq to the east and Jordan to the south. Since 1971, a family has been ruling Syria. Syria has been ruled by the Assad family with Hafez al-Assad serving as the authoritarian leader until his death in 2000. Later his son Bashar al-Assad succeeded him, continuing the entire legacy of the family's rule. The Arab Spring uprising was a turning point in Syria's history. In 2011, erupted protests against Assad's rule. People felt that their rights were being suppressed. People wanted a democracy. This caused a series of protests out in the Middle Eastern region against the entire government. The Arab Spring was a wave of pro-democracy protests and uprising that took place in the Middle East and North Africa from 2010 to 2011. During this time, there was a lot of unemployment, corruption, humanitarian crisis, and economic inequality. However, Bashar al-Assad thought that if he carried out elections during that time, he would definitely get knocked out by the citizens. So, he kept on postponing and delaying the elections because he didn't want his post to get removed. Humanitarian rights in Syria were heavily depressed. Bashar al-Assad's government literally killed the people who were against him. This aggravated the people even more. Now, let us take a look at the timeline that summarizes the recent events that have taken place in Syria since the past couple of weeks. Till October 2024, HTS held a small area called Idlib near the Syrian border it shares with Turkey. Later, HTS annexed Syria's capital, that is Damascus. On December 10, rebels marched towards the Mediterranean coast. So far, this has been the situation in Syria. HTS is continuing to capture more and more parts of Syria right now. Since the past many years, Syria has been a chessboard for global powers. By 2015, Bashar al-Assad's regime was cornered, but it got support from Syria's allies that are Russia and Iran. Russian airstrikes against Assad's enemies in 2015 helped Assad gain his position back. Now, let me tell you the countries which support Syria and are opposing Syria and why. Number 1, Russia. It supports Syria. Russia backed Assad to secure its military base in Tartus and maintain its influence in West Asia. Iran supported Assad by providing him with military and financial support. In 2018, Iran helped Syria by sending its military forces there to help them. In the 1979 Islamic Revolution, Syria provided a crucial route to supply arms for Hezbollah in Lebanon. And if you already know, Iran and Lebanon have been allies since a very long time. Now let us know about the countries which are against Syria. The first country that hates Syria is Israel. Israel hates Syria because of the growing power and influence of Iran and Hezbollah in Syria. Warplanes have reportedly been carrying out hundreds and thousands of airstrikes across Syria. In fact, the UK based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights SOHR says that it has documented more than 350 airstrikes carried out by Israel since the fall of Assad's regime in Damascus, Aleppo, and Hama. If we talk about USA's current stand, President Joe Biden says that Assad's exit in Syrian politics will actually improve the conditions there. It will help peace prevail in Syria. However, Trump has won the USA elections now. However, he has not yet taken oath. However, now that Trump is going to be the next US president, USA might not play a major role in this war because according to Trump, USA should stay out of whatever is happening in Syria. The collapse of Assad's regime sent shockwaves across Middle East. Turkey saw an opportunity to extend its borders. It saw an opportunity to expand its influence as it backed HTS during the conflict. Russia and Iran have suffered a major loss. They have suffered a major setback, losing a critical ally and their foothold in the region. Israel currently is trying to exploit the political vacuum that is there in Syria. The end of Assad's dictatorship is a milestone, but now many people are questioning what will HTS do now that HTS is in power. If we talk about India's stand, India does not directly support Syria in this war. There are no major statements by India. However, India and Syria have maintained friendly ties since many years. How does this matter to India? In the past videos, I've always said that if anything happens in the Middle East, the first thing that gets affected is oil. Even here, West Asia is crucial for India's oil imports. If anything happens in Syria, that is in the Middle East, it will obviously disrupt trade routes and it will hamper the energy supplies to India and the rest of the world. In fact, World Bank has said that if the situation aggravates in the Middle East more, the oil price could exceed up to $100 per barrel. The next thing is geopolitics. India has always maintained a non-meddlesome policy in Syria. It has always stayed out of Syrian politics. But because of the rise of extremist organizations, India could also face many repercussions, mainly because Indian workers are there in Syria. Indian workers have been there in the entire Middle Eastern region. If we talk about countries such as Saudi or um, uh, Qatar or any other Middle Eastern country, there are a lot of Indian workers. A destabilized region could affect Indian safety and remittances to India. If we talk about the Syrian war's global impact, it is going to cause a huge refugee crisis because the United Nations has reported that approximately 5.5 million Syrian refugees live in neighboring countries such as Turkey, Lebanon, Jordan, and many parts of Europe as well. This can cause history's largest refugee crisis. It will also increase the power of extremist organizations in the Middle East and is going to cause a lot of humanitarian crisis. In fact, I should say that it is already causing a lot of humanitarian crisis in Syria. The fall of Assad marks the end of an era, but now it has opened a Pandora's box of questions. Will Syria find peace, or it is heading to a new cycle of conflict again? Will HTS rule improve Syria's crisis, or it will worsen the situation there even more? If you have any contrary opinions, feel free to share them in the comment box below. Thank you.